Ray from Pro String. Today we'll be changing the grommets on a head tennis racket. It is the Head Speed Pro Youtek technology, to be exact. Very important, Youtek. Hopefully you can see that there. Yes, it's a very worn out racket. Hence the reason we are going to change the grommets. So I'm just going to show you the player that's using this racket has really not been told, obviously, that maybe that the grommets exist or this type of thing exists in the racket world. It exists for tennis and squash. I would say they're typically more for the more expensive models. Generally, the cheaper models, they don't get made, full stop. So this is I don't know if you guys can see, but there's one piece, which is exactly the same on the other side. So we've got two pieces there, and then we've got 3, 4, and then the actual head guard in itself. So this person has really worn down not only the head guard, but they're starting to wear down the actual graphite in itself. So they've gone through the paint, and then of course what happens is you go through the frame in itself, and all rackets are hollow. So what happens is, let's see, that you actually make a hole. These are actually my own personal rackets that I was using, but you can see something very similar. You go through the plastic, then you go through the paint, and then you go through the graphite, which therefore, if you make a hole in the racket, then it's done. It's very hard to restring. You're at risk of damaging your elbow. So we're going to crack on with this racket. Strings everywhere. Anyway. So, first step, I don't think I'm going to, I've checked, I've inspected the grommets down here. So actually it's, what did I say? It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's actually 6, counting the grommets in the throat of the racket. The grommets down here are in very good condition. But I'll change them all just to show you guys. So very important, actually, very important first step. Make sure you have the right grommets. Yeah. So you want to match them up. Excuse me. Got a terrible cough going on. As you can see, it does match. Okay, so you've got to take into account that it does stretch. So stretch it a little bit if you can, and the holes should all match. Once you cut out the grommet, typically there's no way back. I have done it before where I thought it was the right grommet, it looked right, and then for whatever the reason, it wasn't the right ones. It's happened to me a couple times in the past, for whatever the reason. So be very careful, because as you see, I'm going to cut all the grommets that I think have been enlarged, where knots have been tied, etc. I'll do it this way so you guys can see. Can you see how the grommets are quite enlarged, for example? So those are the ones you really want to focus on to start with. And I'm just going to simply cut. Try to be careful, don't scratch the racket. I have a new set of grommets in my other machine over here. Those ones are on their way out. As you can see, it's not, I mean, I wasn't being very forceful or anything, but okay, this one is just, I'm going to give it a little bit of a squeeze with this actually. As you can see, changing grommets is not the easiest task. I mean, this is ridiculous. Very strange that I'm even, yeah. Let's go back to the other ones. Has a flatter and a thinner side, but anyway, okay, so these ones as you can see, already giving me a little bit of a hassle. I'm going to chop it out however I can, regardless. And then we've got exactly the same. Okay, that one's caught. That's how it should normally go. So, yeah, let's just do them all. Why not? Sometimes if you see that, you know, certain grommets are in good condition at the bottom and you don't want to change them, maybe I shouldn't be telling you guys this because it's supposed to be teaching you guys or showing you guys how to be as professional as possible. However, it's down to you. But for the tutorial's sake, this grommet is just being something else. I mean, it might come out anyway. But anyway, cutting all. This racket has quite a few shared knots. Oops. So it has quite a few enlarged kind of grommets. Right. I don't know if you guys are still able to see well. Hopefully you are. I'm just going to push everything out. I want to have some space to grab the grommet from. Again, without minimal. There you have it. That doesn't come out. Well, maybe it will. Yeah, sometimes it just needs a little push from having been in so long. And sometimes they will break within the frame, let's say, and they'll get stuck. And then you'll need a little tool called, oh dear, what is it called? It's like a little grinder. Let's see, I might have to take it out. It looks like this, but it's effectively, it looks like an awl, but it's exactly shaped the same, but it's got, it's textured, so you can kind of sand things down. So sometimes there are certain grommets that are very stubborn, they don't go in very well because of the angle of the racket, so you might just have to sand down a certain hole. That way you can have a much smoother passage, let's say, of the grommet. Cool. Back to my, there we go, that was the one I think that had a knot. As you can see, it's coming out nicely. This always take into account if you're pulling out the grommets, and that's the one that we were talking about. No, it's not actually. It's just a shared hole. Pretty straightforward grommet. But what I would say is keep in mind, watch out for this. I'll show you in a moment. So you can already see there's overlapping of grommets. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 grommets go into the end of the head guard. Another shared hole. That's come out nice and easy. This should just pop right out. There you have it. Cool. Now the head guard. Oof. Awful condition. Okay, so I stand corrected. This is a 7-piece grommet. There was one more on the top, which I missed. I think I've done this racket a couple of times, but it has been a while. Grommets isn't something I see every day. I have done, I would say, most models. Let's see. Just gonna put all that there. And I missed one here, another shared hole, which is not all that common these days, but Head do have a few models where the mains and the crosses share the hole. Okay, let's come out. There you go, nice and easy. And all we're left is with the bottom 4 or 5 holes down here. And there you go. So it's not as simple as just replacing the head guard. That grommet had a few broken holes, for example. I don't know if you guys can tell. This one was broken, for example. This one was also broken. Let me see if I can find a better angle. There you go. Another broken one. So sometimes it's not just the head guard. why the string is breaking. This specific racket, the person was rubbing the racket probably on a slice shot, for example, and scraping the strings on the floor. Therefore, kept breaking strings at the top, because what the grommets and head guards do is also protect the strings, not just the frame in itself. So, oh dear me, I'll just keep it over here. But this is what they come as. They come in a little plastic, generally, with all the pieces. Let's hopefully they don't fall off. Maybe if I put it on that way. Okay, so we have our two smaller pieces there that fit in close to the neck of the racket. This, if I'm not mistaken, this should be a relatively easy grommet to do. I really hope I'm right, because there are some grommets out there, especially the Babble Up Pure Drive rackets. They are awful, but I mean awful. There's no two ways about it. Right, guys, so we're going to start down here at the bottom. Well, as you see, that hasn't given us any issues at all, but sometimes it might not be just completely flush and just not that straightforward. You're going to put the awl in, and you're just going to try to push. As you can see, my index finger is on that side, and I'm going to try to just softly put the grommet through the hole, which was successful. And we do exactly the same for the other side. I'm on fire. I'm on a roll. It is late here in London, 11:17 p.m. and we have the same thing as before. There was two that didn't go through. Now it's just the one. Again, find the grommet. Try to always work on the inside part of the frame. When I say that, I mean this side, because if you're starting to push through here, you can't see if it's hitting the side of the hole. If that makes sense, yeah? You got the hole, but it could be that one of the sides of the little grommet might be pushing against the frame on the inside part. So careful with that. Don't start forcing it, because you will bend the grommet. Here we go. Let's see what this has to offer. Again, pretty straightforward, really simple. As you can see, the grommet's pushing upwards a little bit. Just push it down. And as I said before, there are four grommets that share the first four holes of the head guard. This is 5, and I'm going to leave 4 out. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to get my head guard. There it is. Eventually I put it on the shelf behind the camera. And then what you're going to do is just nice and easy place the oh dear, was it 4 or was it 5? Have I got this wrong? It might be 5. Yeah, alright, my bad. So it was 5. Sometimes you'll tell pretty quick, as I just did now, that that didn't work. But like I was saying, when I was taking the grommets out, it should be able to tell when you take the grommets out if it doesn't completely rip. But I can tell from the old one being in the 5th hole. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But I could tell quick enough that it wasn't. I was in the wrong, starting the grommets in the head guard. That's the head guard. These are the grommets in the wrong place. But anyway, fine. 5 to each side of the grommet. And here we go. We're going to try to make this nice and easy. Again, don't be forceful if the grommet doesn't want to go through. Start turning the racket around, have a look inside the hole, and see what is going on. And this one is going to be stubborn. Ah, gotcha. All right, there. We're probably halfway now. There's a few different ways that you can work around the grommet, but I'm going to try to close this off because I have a few different pieces. So, right, I've got the top piece now that fits on the top of the racket. Don't think it makes a difference which way it goes in. But sometimes you may find yourself having to pull on the grommet or the head guard. Hopefully you guys are still able to see. Right, it's getting a bit more complicated and I'm feeling that it's not going through so easily. Okay, but we're just going to simply, again, index finger on the outside of the racket and just push through softly. Well, softly or not, depending on how it's going. So as you saw, just to guide the grommets in through the head guard, I just helped them a little bit, guided them if you'd like. Okay, so we're through, we're in. And now, what I'm going to do, I might need my awl. I'm already seeing, well, we did this one a little while ago. However, let's see. Oh, my bad, wrong way around. So if you are doing this exact racket, the thicker grommets, which are the shared grommets, for the mains and the crosses, do go towards the bottom. Yeah. So you can see I'm maneuvering the racket quite an interesting way around myself in itself, let's say. Not all that sure I've got this right, you know. I think I was wrong. So these are the shared. There's only one shared grommet, I think, on this side of the grommet. My bad. My bad. Alright, that makes sense now. Right. You could put the grommets inside the head guard to make life maybe a bit easier. But, you know, it does take some time to figure this all out. So let's see if this one wants to pop through easy. Yep. Okay, now I'm going to go underneath. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Oh dear. Are we in? Oh dear. Okay. Okay, that one's through. Excuse me. There is a nasty cough going around. I just had it 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. Seems like everybody's getting it again. I don't understand. And I'm not one to get sick. Ever. But yeah, there you have it. Alright, I'm just going to see if this makes my life a bit easier if I just kind of guide these in. Even if they don't come all the way through, I'm not too fussed. Just to kind of get them out of my way a little bit. Wow, I can barely see the whole, okay, fine. So it was really hiding behind the frame here and I could just see a tiny bit of the grommet in itself. The first few grommets, guys, you probably want to say shoot yourself, but I guess I just did. Yeah, you might not find it easy. Around 18 minutes. Okay, I can string a racket quicker than that. Fine. Not the end of the world. There's not much money to be made in these. Because, yeah, it's just the nature of the business. It's a service that you offer. You can make, I don't know, a few pounds on it, a few dollars, euros, whatever your currency is. Do I change these ones? Don't have to, but hey. For tutorial purposes, let's do it. This should pop up really nice and easy. There you have it. Back to the little bag with its last piece. There's nothing left in here, guys. I haven't cut any corners. I may have done if the video isn't on, not because of laziness or anything, but just because of the grommets in good condition. Why not just keep it for next time? You know, a lot of times I do that. I'll give the leftover pieces to the client and say, hey, listen, when the holes, if any holes crack or break, you've got this as a backup, and no need. If everything else is in good condition, then there's no need. Guys, there you have it. Everything looking fine. Right, the racket is as good as new. Well, not really, depending how much you use the racket and stuff. But look, it's not going to get worse. Yeah. The racket, I told the person, told the client that, you know, if you don't change this, you're going to keep breaking strings annoyingly because it's just not being protected by the head guard and the grommets. So there you have it, guys. The Head Speed Pro Youtek and graphene, very important as well. Graphene technology. I know it's backwards. I've got the selfie mode on. so I can make sure I'm giving you guys the best view possible, checking my my angles and stuff. So very important, when you string the racket, new grommets, add 2-3 kilos, 5-6 pounds. I do 2 kilos normally, but yeah, if you do 3, not the end of the world. They lose massive amount of tension, generally speaking. So feel free to put on 2-3 kilos. I don't know, between 4.5 and 6.5 pounds, perhaps. There you have it, guys. Again, the Head Speed Pro Youtek Graphene. Head Speed Pro Graphene Youtek technology. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and happy grommet changing. Maybe not so happy for some of you. You will realize that it's not that easy. I'm going to string it now. I'll make another video on how to string this racket specifically. Alright, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully there was some useful information, and take care of yourselves. Take care. Bye bye.